What's going on, guys? Alex with 814 EDC, and today I'm ready to do my full review on the Quiet Carry Knives Large IQ. So this was in from a Lefty passaround package. It was this one, and then the Penguin Plus and the Penguin Mini, which I still have to do full reviews on, so be on the lookout for those. But yeah, the Quiet Carry Large IQ. This thing has been a really, awesome knife to have in. I've really enjoyed having this in. Carrying it, cutting with it, just checking it out. And it's just, I'm really on a quiet carry kick recently, because I have the large IQ in. I recently got the Chase for Christmas, and then I got in the Waypoint on a trade. So this is the third one I've got to check out within the last month. And then in the near future, also from a Lefty pass-around package, I'm getting to check out the Quiet Carry 9 that they just released. That looks like a really cool model too. So I'm really intrigued by Quiet Carry recently, and I think the large IQ is a fantastic model. I am, excuse me, I am very impressed with it. I've been very impressed with everything that Quiet Carry has produced and has made recently. It's all top notch, fit and finish. The materials are always really good. Action's always good. Just Quiet Carry in general is, I feel like, a company that kind of flies under the radar a little bit, but they produce absolutely phenomenal EDC knives. And the large IQ is, right up there with their other, sort of mainstay knives like the Drift, the Waypoint, stuff like that. But yeah, so we're going to jump right into materials. So this is the stonewashed, knurled version. So you have, it's a full titanium build, but on this side you have some micro knurling. You of course have the 4 little dots there. That's kind of Quiet Carry's mainstay, or calling card per se. Same thing over here. It is a frame lock. You have a loop over style deep carry pot clip that mounts to the back, so it works very well. M390 blade steel on this, says it right there. Beautiful deep hollow grind on this sheep's foot style blade. Very thin behind the edge. Comes in with a pretty thin stock too. It is a flipper. So you have a flipper tab right there. It's built more like a pyramid. Titanium backspacer. It is on bearings, and it is dead centered. And like a lot of other Quiet Carry knives, it is, I believe they call them coffin style knives, how the blade fully sits into the handle, which I think from an aesthetic standpoint looks really good. I like how they do that. It is dead centered, like I said. And yeah, so from the materials, they have this version according to the website, and they also have a fully blackened version, DLC coated, and it is, I believe, also knurled. Yes, so both versions are knurled. You can either get, like I said, the stonewash or the DLC coated one. But yeah, I think that's all for materials. So we're going to jump into action next. Now, most of the time I don't love flipper only knives, but when flipper only knives are done very well, I really can, learn to enjoy them, and I have learned to enjoy them. And this is definitely in the upper echelon of flipper only knives that I've handled. It's just so snappy. It just flies right out of there. You can do the light switch method, or you can do the push button method, and they're both equally as snappy as the other one. Just flies right out of there. Flies right out of there. I could just sit here and fidget with this all day, and this thing has gotten a lot of pocket time since I have had this in. It's been fidgeted with a ton while I'm here at my desk, editing videos, watching YouTube, playing PlayStation, watching shows, whatever it may be. This thing has gotten a ton of pocket time, fidget time. But just a very snappy detent. You guys can hear snaps into place. So very snappy. There is no blade play at all. This thing is locked up super tight, which is nice. When it comes to the lock bar, you have, it doesn't look like you have a ton of lock bar access here, But what is nice is they milled some of the, you guys can see right there, there's like a pocket that they sort of milled out on the lock bar. And it gives you a great purchase just to dig your thumb in there and it drops right to your nail. So it doesn't look like you would have a lot, considering it's pretty, pretty even flush with the scale on the other side. But then you pick it up and you start using it and fidgeting with it and whatnot, and then you realize how easy it is to manipulate and operate. But great closing action. You can either drop it to your thumb, bang once, close, which is what I do most of the time, or you can drop it to your thumb and do micro shakes and it'll close. Or you can try to do so it doesn't do like the fully drop close, because when you take the pressure off the lock bar, it kind of stops the knife. It's very smooth, but I think the way the D10 is, you're never going to get a super, free guillotine dropper, because it can just basically sit there, and you can kind of move it around a little bit and it's not going to drop. But if you shake it in the right direction, it's going to drop home. So push button is awesome, light switch is awesome, closing action is very, very fun to do, very sort of invigorating. I could just sit here and just, without even thinking about it, just do this over and over and over again, which I'm sure I've done multiple times since I've had this knife in. But all in all, action is just phenomenal. The bearings in here, a lot of knives that Quiet Carry does, such as both of the other knives that I have, the Waypoint and the Chase, they are both washer knives. So it's really cool to see Quiet Carry stepping into the bearing territory with knives and seeing them execute it and really knock it out of the park when it comes to bearing action. I have to give them 2 thumbs up. So action is awesome. Next up is Ergos. Now this knife is a decent size knife. Of course, it is the large. I've never handled the normal IQ, so I don't know, in comparison how much bigger it is. I'm not a huge stats guy, but the blade length, is 3.4 inches. So that makes the body length 4.5 inches. But man, it just fits my hand super, super well. So you have the flipper tab right here. Without choking up, you can get your pointer finger on here, and then the rest just kind of falls into place because you have that nice natural restriction point right there. But as you guys can see, I can still get all 4 fingers on here. It's very comfortable, very utilitarian sort of design. It's no frills, very basic. It's all just one straight line here and pretty much one straight line here, and that tapers off here on the ass end of the knife. But all in all, so comfortable. And then when you choke up here, you put your middle finger on the restriction point behind the flipper tab, and then you have the it's not really it's kind of a flipper choil sort of thing up here, but then it's very, very comfortable. You can really get locked in for any precision sort of cuts you're going to be doing. You have to be you have to be careful of what you're doing. You have to be mindful of what you're doing. I couldn't think of the word mindful. But yeah, the knurling on the show side here is really comfortable. It adds a great texture when you're in any sort of grip. It's very minimal and it's very subtle, but at the same time, it's very useful and very effective at the same time. But just very comfortable, choked up. In the blade shape, sheep's foot, it's very usable. You just got to drop down for that, get that tip into an Amazon package, a letter, a box, anything you might be doing with it, cutting out some labels. Just a very usable blade shape. The sheep's foot blade style is one of my favorite blade styles, just because of the usefulness that comes with it. But yeah, really any grip, just because of how simple, I guess, the design is, with having, pretty much straight and straight. It's kind of a rectangle-y design, if you will. Any way you hold this knife, you're going to be, comfortable doing anything hammer grip. You could, pinch grip. I love a good pinch grip when you're getting into packages. I love doing the pinch grip with your thumb and your middle finger right here, and then you take your pointer finger, get it up here on the blade, so that gives you a really good control point of whatever you're doing. But any way that you hold this knife, any grip that you can imagine, 9 times out of 10 it's going to be comfortable for your hands, unless you have just absolutely huge mitts, or you have baby hands that this thing might be like a pocket sword in. But for the average human, this thing is going to be very, very comfortable, and I have no complaints at all with the ergos. They're very, very good. So next up is carry. Now there is some internal milling, which I forgot to mention earlier, on both sides of the knife. There's 2 huge pockets on the show scale side, and there are also 2 pockets on the lock bar side, as well as the relief cut right there for the lock bar. So overall, it is a 3-ounce knife. That's pretty lightweight for almost a 3.5-inch blade. I think that's a very adequate weight. This thing is awesome in the pocket. You combine the very lightweightness of this knife with the awesome pot clip that it comes with. It makes for a very, very, very good carry. Like I said, the pot clip is mounted from almost the top. It's kind of flush with the top end of the backspacer and the knife back here, but it is a very deep carry. As you guys can see, it goes to the ass end of the knife. You pop it in your pocket, and it's nice because it almost looks like a pen clip. It's very subtle, it's very classy. I really like that Quiet Carry is starting to use pot clips like this. I believe the 9 has one that's very similar to this one as well. So I really think that is a good step forward for them. Their wire clips are also really good. I love the one that is on the waypoint right here. And then the one that is on the chase as well is very comfortable too. It's a little bit different the way it's canted with the knife, but it's very comfortable in and out of the pocket. So really, Quiet Carry is kind of killing the pot clip game, but overall, very comfortable. You drop it in your pocket. You do have a flipper tab down here, so if you're reaching in to grab change, chapstick, anything loose and small in your pocket that might be at the bottom of it, you might have an issue getting down in there. But the jimping on the flipper tab is not super duper rough. It's not coarse. It's not going to be ripping up your hands, or you're not going to catch it enough to pop the knife out of the pocket because of the pocket clip having pretty good retention. So the only place that I did carry this, I take that back. I've carried it in 2 ways. So most of the time it was in my front right pocket of my jeans, like a normal normal place where a knife goes. And then I also had it in my gym shorts, just lounging around the house, out doing different things, going out to the kitchen. I would toss it in my shorts, and it carried very, very well for being, a good sized knife with almost a 3.5-inch blade. It carried very, very well, just being tossed in the pocket. And that's where the 3 ounces definitely comes into play. So, all in all, carry is awesome as well. So as you guys can tell, I'm very high on this knife. I think this knife is fantastic. I really, really enjoy it. I think it's a very quality piece from Quiet Carry. So that would lead me to my final category of price point and what I recommend this knife. Price point on these is $310, and then the DLC version goes for $320. So you're paying a little bit more to have an all blacked out version. But I think $310 is very, it's a good price for this. Would I prefer it to be a little bit cheaper, be a little bit more easy to obtain for someone like myself? Absolutely. Do I think it can be any more expensive? No, because I think $310 is right about the going price for full-tie knives, sort of in this category. So I have no complaints with the price. I think you're getting, your money's worth for it. I don't think you're getting ripped off. I don't think, they're taking advantage of you or anything like that. Because again, you're getting, nice M390 blade, if I can get the logo right there, with a beautiful hollow grind, very thin, very slicey, sheep's foot style blade, full tie build with the knurling. I really like when knife companies do knurling. I think it's a nice classy way of making the knife feel more premium. You're getting a frame lock, with an awesome pot clip, great action. All in all, it's a very satisfying knife to use. It's a very what's the word I'm looking for? It's just, when you put this knife in your pocket, you feel like you have you know, a good piece in your pocket, and for good reason. You know, this whole review was very, very positive, and I think, you know, moving forward, Quiet Carry really, like, the sky's the limit for them is what I'm trying to say. They just have everything that I've touched and everything that I've handled for them has been awesome, and I like them as a company a lot. Moving forward, I'd like to get some other stuff in the collection. You know, am I going to go run out and buy this right now? No, but that's me having the knife in the collection. You know, a week down the road, I could say like, damn, I really miss the large IQ, and I could run out and, you know, want to pick one up. That could change completely. But sometime down the road, I would love to have one of these in collection, just because it's a very gentlemanly type folder. It's classy. It's simple but very usable. Just everything that I look for in a knife, really. You know, comfortable in hand, great ergos, a great carry, you know, great action, great materials. Just everything is, you know, a 10 out of 10 on this knife. So I can absolutely recommend it. I think you guys should go check them out. I will leave a link in the description down below if you guys are interested. Right to the knife link, right to the knife on the website. But yeah, I'm really gonna miss this thing. I already know I'm going to. So, you know, maybe in the future, in the near future, I might have to go pick one up. But we'll see. I think I'm gonna miss it. Sometimes, you know, after knives leave and, you know, I don't have them anymore, I don't miss them as much as I think I do, or I think I would. But I think I'm really gonna miss this knife, and I think, you know, I think it's a great value, and I'm a very big fan of it. So, you know, $310, right in that price range, I think is perfect for this knife. So, but I'm gonna wrap this video up, guys. You know, I hope you guys were able to get a good idea of my thoughts on the Waypoint Large, the large IQ. Sorry, I'm just in a quiet carry headspace right now. But shout out to Kevin over at Lefty EDC. Thank you, Kev, for always sending and being able to, you know, produce really cool packages for other channels like myself to check out. We really do appreciate you. It's just, you know, it's always nice whenever Kevin gets stuff in, because 9 times out of 10 he turns around when he's done with the review and he'll put in the group chat like, oh, hey, do you guys want to check this out? Or, hey, do you want to check this out? And then, you know, when he does that, it turns into a package. So, you know, like this, and then the 2 penguins. So just all in all, it's really nice having Kevin as a friend, because he's a great guy, and he allows other people, like smaller channels like myself, to check out really cool knives. So but I'm gonna quit rambling, guys. This was my full review on the Quiet Carry Large IQ. Definitely go check out the website if you're interested. Quiet Carry makes some awesome knives, and I'm a big fan of theirs. So, but I'm gonna wrap it up, guys. So thank you guys so much for watching. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day, morning, night, whenever you're watching this, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.